morning. It's not the morning, you know. I will at some point need a new intro, but that's fine. That's for future me, and that's okay. So I haven't been feeling great lately, for a lot of different reasons, and for a lot of, it's like some things that are like coming up like now for the first time, and then it's also that there's like some things that have been compounding like for months and months, and some like even years, like this like mental decline that I've been on. Like, I don't want to get too deep into it because that's not the point. The point is, while I was at work today, you know, I wasn't having like the best day, and I decided that I should try to like express some gratitude, or like acknowledge some like positive things. So I made a little, like, just a list of good things, or like, I have it, a list of good things, or like things that I like, or like some of my like favorite like things or feelings that are also not necessarily like products, or like some of this is stuff that you would like buy, but it's not like products, if you know what I'm saying. So it's not like a typical like, oh, favorites, or like, I always I try to cut it out when I drink water, but like this water bottle with the straw, you know, it was not on my list, but actually since I bought this, I've been drinking so much water. So number one, drinking more water, and having something, not necessarily like that this is the product that does it, but like having something that like reminds me to drink water, or like makes drinking water easy and not like a chore, is really nice. But honestly, that's like number 0, not even number 1. So let's get into it. The first thing that I have written down here is taking walks, or like hiking. In the spring, I was walking like a lot, and I stopped because it got too hot outside, and it does take like a lot of time. The way I was walking though was kind of like, I didn't need to walk for 2 hours. Like, it was very like, I was like, instead of laying in my bed and rotting and scrolling TikTok, I can go outside and scroll TikTok and at least be walking. And I'm just like, one thing about me when it comes to like habits is like, I'll do something for some time, and I could even do it like every single day, and then the day comes when I just feel like I'm done with that. So I mostly stopped walking because it got too hot, and I was yesterday, me and a friend went apple picking, which I've never done before, and I found it very fun. But it was just like hiking, but with like a little task that you can do, and I really enjoyed that. And hiking in general, I think a lot of the time people think hiking and they think it has to be like this big thing, especially if you like don't do it, or at least this is how I thought. I don't know if other people think this, but I have seen like the way people talk about or like react to the idea of hiking. People see it sort of like something that's very strenuous and hard. But if you're not doing like a multi-day hike and like camping, or like going on a really serious like intense trail, taking a hike is just you're just taking a walk. You're just walking. Like, there was this video I saw where like it was just some girls who were out in nature. Love that for them. And so many people were commenting like, how can you hike in that dress that you're wearing? And it's like, she's just walking. All you're doing is walking. So I think I like hiking in that way because it's like walking, and like if you're going to like a hiking place, you're more like in nature and not near like, stores and like buildings and stuff. To go down like a like easy breezy trail, it's very like calming, and you can get very into it. And if you go with another person, you just like walk and like talk and have like conversation. It's it's very nice. I enjoy it a lot. Break. Okay. My next thing is I really like taking classes, like professional classes with like a professional teacher. Of course I love like DIY and like teaching myself stuff and like YouTube University, etc., etc. But to me there's something about being taught instead of figuring everything out myself that is it's worth the money for me. I have been for the past not 3 months consecutively. I took 1 month and then there was like a month break. And then for the past, when did we start? September, about 2 months. And I have two more. I've been taking swimming lessons and I have been enjoying it a lot. I decided sort of like halfway through the year that every year I want to like learn something new. And now that I'm have been in swimming and I've taken like 2 rounds of classes, I think even after the new year I'm going to continue with swimming if I don't get to the place where I want to be, or like to a place where I can like take a more advanced class, just because I feel that it's also a survival skill. So I'm not going to like hold myself too much to the idea of like I have to like take another class on top of that, especially one that I would be like paying for or like making a like scheduled time commitment to, even though that like scheduled time commitment and like financial commitment is what I like about taking professional classes or like lessons. And also the like feeling of like completion, like you hit the goal and it's like ended. I think sometimes when I make goals, they don't have a clear enough like end date or enough like progress points to where I feel like I don't hit like a level of it. Like you don't get that feeling of like checking something off. You know what I mean? And I kind of live for that feeling sometimes. Like when the going gets tough, sometimes being able to be like, okay, I did it is like enough. But yeah, I I've really been it's been challenging definitely, but I really have been liking swimming, and I feel like I've definitely like not even that I feel like, but I definitely have made a lot of progress from being like scared of the water to like now I can kind of swim, and I really enjoy being taught like step by step how to like do it, which that's something that like you do kind of have to have someone teach you, as opposed to like downloading of some like software program and just like figuring it out, or like drawing or painting, where a lot of it you can kind of self teach. Even sewing, I think, me personally, I think it's very worth it to, if you want to get into sewing, take a class or have someone like teach you at least some of the basics. You can do it self-taught, absolutely, but I think at least having a foundation of somebody else teaching you how to do it is very, very, very helpful with like sticking through with it. I do think though that there's enough like resources online and people who like do teach that way, that like if you do want to do it on your own, I think you can do it. And that goes for a lot of things. Okay, next. My car has a CD player, And when I noticed it, I was like, I'm going to buy some CDs. Growing up, I didn't own really a lot of CDs, like a few. I was in a children's choir, and every year they put out a CD. I had those, or they burned some and like gave them to us. But there was also like a more like professional version that like they would sell those. So I had those. I remember having this like cassette that I really liked listening to, and it was like Swing Low, Sweet Chariot on it, and I have no idea what was on the B-side. But a lot of the time, if I listened to CDs, it would be, I would go to the library and borrow CDs and burn them onto my computer. Or like, if there's a different name for that, I don't know what it is. I would save all the tracks onto my computer, and then I'd return the CDs. That was a time. And now, those are kind of like good memories for me. So when I saw that I have a CD player, I really wanted to get some CDs. So now, when I'm listening to music, I mostly listen to music on YouTube. I don't have Spotify or anything. In my car, I listen to the radio. But when I saw I could play CDs, I became very interested in that. And then when I bought my first CD as an adult, actually, this might be the first CD I've ever bought. I feel like that. I don't want to say that that's true, but I've definitely never. If I've ever bought a CD, it would have been something that was like library book sale or like thrift store. This is the first CD that I bought that I like ordered specifically, and that was a new release, and it is Renaissance. I was so like, that's what the inside looks like, if anyone was ever wondering. I was so like intrigued. And I really enjoyed just like listening to it like straight through, and like playing with like the CD functions, and just like having a time. It really like, to listen to a whole album just while driving, it really like creates a vibe, especially if you're doing like the like I'm in the music video like type of like light daydreaming. Really great. And then my second CD that I bought, this one I bought more recently, is Rush by Måneskin. This is, Rush. This is what the inside looks like. Great. And they released the deluxe edition like 2 days after I bought this. When I get more CDs, I want to do like a CD tour, but I have to want more CDs. But I really enjoy it. If you have like CDs that you used to listen to, and you can play CDs in your car, play CDs in your car. This is probably like the exact same as like if you were just listening to it on Spotify. I can't really compare the two because my phone is not connected like Bluetooth to my car. I just don't want to do it. Don't ask me why. So I don't know how the experience is different, but something about a CD, it's just different. It hits different. It just feels good. It's just an enjoyable experience, especially when the albums are like well curated or like well organized. I kind of want to make mix CDs or something. And maybe I should go back to the library and check out some CDs that I can listen to for a couple weeks and then like return. I hope I would remember to bring them back. Also, being alone in my car and playing music and like singing along, good feeling, feels good. It's fun to do. I know that's kind of like cliche, but like it's fun to sing along to music. It's just a good feeling when you're just really vibing out, or like you're stressed out and need to like unwind. It does elevate the vibes. Even just sometimes I'll do just like nonsense singing, where I'm just making mouth noises to the beat, and that's good enough for me. It's fun. Next. Okay, so I'm kind of a picky eater. Not in like not in a way that I think anything is ever like gross or something like that, but like I'm particular. So I will tend to like go for like something I know that I would like over trying something new a lot of the time. However, when I do try something new and it ends up being like really good and it's like a new like favorite thing that I can like put in the rotation, that is a fantastic feeling. I love that. It happened to me recently, and now I get to go to a new restaurant when I'm at work instead of the same like place over and over. It's just like a little bit more variety and some like positive reinforcement for like trying new food so I can like do it more and more. And it doesn't and it you know how like if you try something new and then you don't like it, it's like, this was a waste of my money. And that's like the worst feeling to me. The opposite of that is like such a good feeling. Okay. And last and most definitely not least is I'm very grateful for like the friends that I have who care about me and like put like effort into our friendship. People talk about like low maintenance friendships, but I don't believe that exists. Even if your friendships are like casual, I feel like there's a level of like effort and maintenance that goes into every relationship that has to be there. And maybe some of these like, that's just how I view my own friendships. Like totally not like passing judgment on like other people. And if they, adore like low maintenance friendships or like what they would call a low maintenance friendship, I do think there are the friendships that I see people call low maintenance. I would not call low maintenance. I would say that they are just being maintained. Even if you are not like physically in the same space, or you don't do these sort of like big things. However, I notice with the friends that I have that there is a level of effort put in on their part to be in my life and to make it something special when we are together. And I really appreciate that as someone who, like, growing up, I did not have a lot of friends, especially when I was very young. Especially, I had a hard time making friends and being social. I was kind of mute. In like kindergarten and first grade. I think by the end of first grade, I was rebranded from mute to quiet. Well, from shy to quiet. And I had a hard time connecting with people, and like I did not vibe with really anyone, and had a lot of like negative experiences with like abandonment or like betrayal in friendships. And then as I got older, I was sort of like experiencing the same thing, or like being like discarded, or being like the last resort friend, or like the lesser friend in the group. But the friends that I have now like clearly respect me and love me, and I love them so much, and I appreciate it so much, and it's something that I treasure and cherish. So that all being said, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna wrap things up. Fantastic. If you like me, tell a friend. If you don't like me, tell an enemy. Comment in the comments some things that you are like grateful for, some things that make you feel good. Bye.